Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos and today we're going to discuss on how you can do Facebook ads for multiple countries. So there are three different structures that I have seen all of these years working. First of all, we're going to talk about one structure which is pretty straightforward and we're not going to discuss any more about it in the video. What are we doing is that we're having different pixels, different subdomains with Shopify Plus and all of that, and different ad accounts for each one of the countries that we're running ads, okay? We said that, okay, it can happen, there can be brands with different CRMs, with different teams and all of that they are going to use that. I have worked with brands like this. Most of the times there are brands that are very big and you're going to use the ad account. So let's say you're going to spend 500K here, 1 million here, another 300K here. So it's very big brands, okay? So this is one category. There's nothing to discuss about it because we're just treating the ad accounts as running one ad account in the best way that we can do. There's nothing technical in between the campaigns or for the targeting of different countries inside and stuff. Let's go to the other two. Hi guys, I would like to interrupt this video in order to talk to you about my new mentorship programs, and I would love if you go to the website. You're going to find the link in the description, or you can find it in the menu of my website, and over there you're going to be able to see the different mentorship programs that I have. You can find the one that's going to fit better your needs, and I will hope to see you there. Now, in theory, the previous way is the most correct one. Why? Because you are having the time zone, the currency, everything, you know. Now, the other thing that you can do in order to be able to run it in a decent way is to do clusters. What kind of clusters? Clusters of countries like Australia, New Zealand, same time zone, same philosophy, same demographics. So the pixel that you're going to have in these two countries, it's going to be a pixel that's going to get trained to the avatar of these people. For example, one example that I like to use is that, let's say, pregnant women in Africa, okay? Not that we're going to run any ads in Africa, but you get my point. In Africa, we're going to have a completely different profile from the profile that we are going to have for a European woman, for example, which is pregnant. They get older pregnant, they're going to treat their babies in a different way, with different schooling and all of these kind of things. So the demographics are different. So you can cluster countries which have similar demographics, okay? This is the one thing. The second thing is the time zone, okay? So a lot of times we do clusters that we do Australia and New Zealand. We do another cluster for countries like India, Pakistan, and these countries that they run together. Then you have the other one, which is Europe. A lot of times now we exclude from inside UK, but you can put it. The reason that we exclude UK is because we have different numbers because of the customs and all of that for UK. But anyway, this is another discussion. And then we're doing United States alone always. And we have maybe sometimes United States, Canada in the same ad account, which is not bad. So based on the time zone, so that we can start our ads and have a time that makes sense and we're not resetting the ad account into not normal hours. So this is another clustering that you can do, and you can have different pixels for these specific clusters because they are ideal. It's an ideal situation because you're kind of having same time zones, but you're also having same profile people. Because, for example, the people from USA and the people from Europe, they might have completely different interests when we talk about a specific niche. The last way, and don't get me wrong, it's the way which is more wrong based on theory, but I can tell you that I have seen ad accounts that it's working properly. So, and this is the ad account that we're going to focus more because there are some things that we need to discuss in technical level on what you should or you should not do on this ad account. So the last one is to put one pixel for everything, worldwide ad account, worldwide domain and everything, and you are sending people there. Now, some people, they might have the option of having different languages, for example, on different landing pages and stuff with the same pixel and everything, but that means that they're going to do different campaigns for that and so on. Or they have VPN thing and stuff. These are more advanced stuff. We're not going to discuss this, and it's not Facebook ads related. So let's talk about how you can operate in an account like this. You are always putting United States on its own campaign, okay? The only way for you to have United States with all the other countries together is if you're spending a lot of money. I have seen it working, but they're spending in just one campaign, for example, 20K, 50K, 60K per day. And then you're having enough budget for all the other countries also, and the United States is not taking all of it. If you spend 1K or 2K and you break down your results, you're going to see that most of the budget goes to the United States. Of course, when I talk about worldwide, let me explain that I mean the top 25 countries, okay? I'm not talking about India, Pakistan, Tunisia, that they are having very low CPMs and they are taking Brazil. They have very low CPMs and they are taking budget without having any results. So these are, you're not going to put worldwide on your targeting, you're just going to put the top 25 countries. Now, in this category, United States has to go alone unless if you spend a very big amount of money, okay? Then you can have very good fragmentation of the budget in between the countries. The other thing that I need to mention on this one is that you can work with Europe in one campaign. The same thing that we are doing with clustering, with different accounts and pixels, you can do it with your campaigns. Then you can work with language, okay? So you can have Germany, Austria, Switzerland, for example, with German language, German ads, and you can run the ads. One thing that I have noticed in this clustering is that a lot of times you break down the results, for example, and you see that Germany is taking all of the sales, and then you try to put only Germany on the ads and you see that they're not working very well. The reason is that the 1, 2, 3 sales that are coming from Austria and Switzerland are the ones that are giving you a good average result at the end of the day. One thing that I have been doing when I'm using 10 or 20 countries in just one campaign is that, with all the problem that this may have, because we have different time zones, when are we going to start our ads? We're going to start them at 6 a.m. Some of the countries, they're going to be on the prime hour or another hour. So, you know, if we don't do clustering based on time zone, this is going to happen anyway, so we don't think about it. The other thing is when the ads are resetting compared to our prime hour in these specific countries. If you're running for France and if you're running for Australia, the prime hours are going to be different and stuff. If you don't want to actually have different campaigns based on time zone and you put them all together, these are problems that you're going to have, but I have seen them working in other accounts. I have seen other accounts that they're working like this without zero issues. One last thing and one technique that I'm using a lot of times in these countries, because I was seeing that when I was isolating one country that was taking all of the budget, I was having worse results. The reason for you to isolate the countries is because in theory, you can scale more. Why? Because you can see the different CPMs that you get in the different countries. For example, you see a mix of CPMs when you are running 20 countries, but if you run just one country, you can see the CPMs and you can see the results that you have, and you can scale each country individually, which means that you're going to be able to scale more. On the other hand, when you're doing that, you might be seeing that this country is not working because the other countries, they were giving you some good results also, so in the average you were winning. The only way for me that I have found that I could battle this and actually win was that, let's say for example that you run 20 countries, you break down the results and you see, for example, that United Kingdom, it's taking 60% of the budget and it's profitable. So what I was going to do is that I was going to remove all the other countries from this campaign and see what United Kingdom is spending in the last 7 days, divide that by 7 to take the average spend of this last week, then put this budget as daily budget, remove all the other countries, start a new campaign with the other countries and leave United Kingdom with the budget that it was spending. This is just the same thing as what we're doing in CB optimization when we lower the budget, when we find the balance with some ad sets and we don't want them to spend more. I believe that this is what was happening when I was just running maybe a new campaign for the country, or I was just leaving just this country that was working in the campaign. And this is the way that I have found that it's working very well for me when I'm removing it and I'm just running the other countries in order for me to find another country which is going to take a lot of budget, and I'm going to be able to isolate it and so on, so that I can be able to scale more. So all these ways are working. I have seen them working. Even if in theory some of those they look like they are problematic, they are working. And I can assure you of that. And I think that you can try and you can see which one is going to work better for you. But for sure, the last strategy with lowering the budget and all of that to whatever this country is spending on the last 7 days, I think it's going to help you a lot to isolate if you just want to have different campaigns for different countries and you want to do it in a more safer way instead of just starting 20 campaigns with 20 different countries. You can start one campaign with a big budget with 20 countries, then go to 19 to 18 and so on, and move your way down until you find maybe a cluster which is just smaller countries that you want to group together, and you have all the others that are working individually. Then you're going to take creatives that are working in one, test them in the other, and so on. You're going to keep doing this, the one variable rule, and you're going to keep expanding as much as you can. Don't forget that if you want to learn more, you can check my book, my course, my website, my mentorship programs, and below all the testimonials from the people that they have completed it. And until we meet again, be creative and be consistent.